Hey, everybody, welcome back. It's the SCB Steelers Podcast presented by Deck Roofing Incorporated of South Florida. We are very proud to be part of the Variety Sports Network. And of course, the show originates from the Frank Walker Law Studio. Welcome in, everybody. Burner's in with a prediction already. He says we're winning 21-17 up in Foxborough. And Godfather is just the opposite. Just fire everyone. I mean, why the hell not?
That's my buddy from college. He's the
best. Right. And Joe just says good evening. You know, Joe's the one that's fair and balanced right now.
We need an even keel person.
Yeah, a little even keel there. So the Steelers are 1-1. And one could argue there are a couple of bounces and a 60-yard Chris Boswell field goal from being 0-2, but they're not. They're still 1-1. You know, you can't sit here and talk about woulda, shoulda, coulda, and all that. But there's also a lot to discuss. And Yinzer Gear, thank you for all your support, sir. You have supported us to get to 500 as much as anyone. I did see that we slipped to 499 tonight.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, who the hell's that asshole? I mean, you subscribe and then you leave. In any case, I'm repping my son's soccer today, little Elma College soccer. Because I know it was some of those dudes who got us up to 500. So, nice. Boys, keep it going. You're playing well. Keep it up, guys. In any case, I would like to know, Ian.
Yes.
What the hell's wrong with the Steelers defense?
Everything.
Okay, good enough. Ben, let's get you. No. Yeah, okay. And there's a lot of stuff wrong with this defense.
Yeah.
Where does it start?
Well, considering there's other people on the show that want to talk, it starts with the scheme. The scheme is shit. They can't. The players aren't executing it, and it's terrible. They're not putting players in positions to be successful. When you have, three guys blocking TJ Watt, like. Okay, they're going to do that, right? On a pass play, because every team since the middle of last year has done what I call the gate blocking, where you got to go through the gate of a tight end, you got to go through an offensive tackle, and then sometimes either a guard or a running back, right? It's like three gates you have to get through just to actually get to the house.
It's like Indiana Jones trying to get through the three levels to get to the cup of Christ, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes, yeah. Yes, perfect analogy. Yes. So
sure. Indiana Jones.
Yes, but if the offense is spending three guys to block one guy, that means somebody else is going to either have a one-on-one or be free, and those guys aren't doing any. They're not winning battles. They're not. And even when you get a guy home, Peyton Wilson or Patrick Queen both had free runs at Darnold and missed him. Wilson on his free run actually took out Herbig, who was coming around the edge. And I was like, you just can't have this kind of stuff happen. Like they have to make those plays, even if the scheme is bad. And I know there was a lot on Twitter this week about, the Yankee cross route just tearing up our secondary. Terrell Aston said today that, they tried to address it and the players didn't execute. But when you line up in the same alignment to defend it with the corners at outside leverage and a single high safety, there's not many options there, right? Like unless you're playing cover three and the corners are supposed to hand the guy off instead of trailing, or unless you're,
they were supposed to do that.
Something different than
they were supposed to do that. The safety handoff. Thornhill was supposed to cut off the under route, and Slay was supposed to take the guy going to his side rather than we saw this. Everybody's seen it on the interwebs now. Mm-hmm. So they fucked it up. I mean,
yeah.
Okay,
but also the stats come out about coverage alignments, right? And there's so many sites out there that run these stats every week, and I think part of it is they're in predictable coverages. They're running cover one or cover three, like 2/3 of the time, basically, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So cover one and cover three aren't that different. that's basically what they're running. It's like, okay, well, and they're not disguising it, right? They have one of the lowest disguise or post-snap shifting rates of any defense in the league. So not only are they not even running cover 2 or anything like that, or cover 6 or cover 4, or they're also not disguising it. So they're basically just lining up and running it. And like, these guys they're playing are professionals, right? If you line up and show something, they know how to prepare for it. They've seen it on tape now, and they know, what routes they have to attack it. You got to disguise some stuff. Line up like you're playing cover 3 and then shift to cover 2, or like that's when quarterbacks mess up, is when you change something that they thought they saw.
So Ben, Darius Slay has been around, and Slay. And he's seen some things. Even Thornhill has seen some things. Okay, we were told that when they came here, a lot of these communication issues were going to get cleaned up. So what's the problem? Did we lose Ben?
Issue. I think that Ramsey.
No,
I'm still here.
Okay, good.
We couldn't hear you.
Oh, wonderful. No, it wasn't communication. It wasn't execution. Ramsey was expecting Slay to pick the guy going inside, so he slowed down.
I'm going to shift over to Scarps here for a minute because Peter Frampton has joined us again in the upper corner there. Scarps, you were commenting that Ryan Clark made a comment on Twitter this week, and something you saw a ton of in practice when you were with the Steelers. Do you think that type of thing is happening with them, or is it just mass confusion right now?
I mean, it's hard to say because I'm not there, but like, if you didn't see it, Ryan Clark talked about that Yankee cross or whatever you want to call it, and he referred to it as calling it out as zombie. And I used to hear that shit all the time. I remember and it was always Ryan calling it out. He'd be like, zombie, 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 zombie. And do we have 2 Bens right now?
Not anymore. I just kicked him.
So finally, I figured out what he was talking about, and then he posted about it the other night. I think, and I just posted this, but I think it comes down to that when the defenses we all loved, everybody on that defense knew their assignment individually, and they knew everyone else's assignment collectively. And I don't think half these dudes know what they're supposed to do, and they definitely don't know what their teammates are supposed to do. And to me, this scheme, or whatever you want to call it, is not that complicated. I don't think it's advanced. I think it's very vanilla, and I'm gonna bring up two folks that I've heard say this repeatedly. One is the late Tonjokin, and the other is Dick LeBeau. And anytime if the Steelers ever had a bad game under Dick LeBeau, especially when they were really, really, really good, he would always make a joke, and he would say, "Well, the other coaches and players want to win too." And Tunch used to say that as well. And I sit there and think, yeah, they're studying the film. They're looking at this bullshit on tape, and they know hey, we're going to take a shot. We're going to take a shot on this crosser and see what happens. Oh shit, the dude's wide open. Yeah. Good for us. And I mean this. The Steelers are very, very fortunate to be 1-1 and not 0-2. And they're very fortunate that Seattle didn't fucking put up 45 against them, because Clint Kubiak was in his bag, and he got a little bit greedy a few times early on, and they still scored points. That fourth down play where they intercepted it, if they would have just ran the ball, they would have gotten it. There's no doubt, because this run defense is terrible. Yeah. But I see a bunch of guys that don't play well together, They're not a good group. They have a couple names that you recognize, and they think that they can rely on a few names to put them over the top, and that's not going to happen this year. Now, there's a bunch of guys who were hurt, and I know Isaiah Loudermilk is not really good, but they're starting to lose depth too.
Yep.
And I don't know. I don't know how they rebound from here. You know, they could get better. Yeah. Go ahead, Ben.
I think losing Loudermilk is addition by subtraction, but that's me. He fucking sucks. I'd rather put Logan Lee in there and let him learn on the job.
Okay.
Fuck this.
Or Y.A. Black.
Or anybody. I mean, fucking anybody. Yeah. Loudermilk is terrible.
Benton at the nose.
Well, Keanu Benton was better week 2, to his credit. He just wasn't, great. In fact, nobody on the defensive line was great. And this is supposed to be the strength of the unit, and they're just not that good. I don't understand it. Anyway, guys, missing assignments. Clearly, Ramsey slowed down on that crosser because he thought Slay had that guy going to that side, and he was in trail, and he gave him a huge cushion because he didn't think he was going to have to chase him into the end zone. When he realized he did, he tried to catch up, but it was too fucking late. You missed 2 steps. It's done. It's over.
What
do you
Thornhill
did what he was supposed to do, but
yeah. I mean, let's pare it down even more. What are you guys seeing with the run defense? Is it just simply a matter of man on man? Their guys are beating our guys. I mean, it looks like a comedy of errors at times because you see defensive linemen just getting doubled right back into our linebackers. And,
right. Our defensive line cannot hold the gap. I don't understand what the deal is. They can't break doubles. They can't hold their gap. And then the linebackers aren't filling. You got 2 fucking linebackers there that are free because the defensive linemen are being doubled.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the linebackers
fill the fucking gap.
They're taking terrible angles. I think that's another big problem across the board.
Huge problem.
There was one play where Seattle's fullback took out Peyton Wilson, just smashed him, and Patrick Queen ran right into him. So the fullback basically blocked 2 guys. Like you can't have 2 guys getting blocked by the same guy.
Right.
I don't even know that guy's name, and I want to fucking give him his cookies or his creams or his flowers.
It sounds the same way.
That was a badass play,
man.
Fuck
it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. But Ian's dead on. We have way too many guys commit Steeler defense where they're taking out teammates. It happens all too often. It happened a lot week 1. It happened week 2. It's too much, too common an occurrence. And I was bitching about the way they left the corners on an island and didn't really set them up very well, yada yada yada. Whatever. Offense is running it up the middle too and throwing it in the middle. They're having their way with the Steelers, D, no matter what the fuck they do right now.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it, from my standpoint, is simply whipping blocks. Tomlin talks about this. Whipping blocks and making tackles. Make your fucking tackles. Fill your goddamn gap. Hold your gap. That's it. Simple things. The blocking and tackling. Just do that.
You hear this a lot at every level. Fundamentals. Go back to we're going to go back to basics. We're going to go back and, take a look at the tape and we're going to do this. And, how many times have we heard that? And, and to Ian's point in the chat, now we're going to face a Mike Vrabel team. And we know Mike Vrabel would prefer to run the football. Ramondre Stevenson is
and stop the run.
And stop the run. I mean, that sounds like the old Steelers, right? We'll get to the Patriots and stuff later. Scarps, do you see Cole Holcomb getting a few more snaps this week?
Oh man, I don't even care anymore. I'm gonna sound like a hater, and I don't really give a shit. But Cole Holcomb is not Cole. That's fine. Cole Holcomb is not he might be a little bit better, but like they do not have the talent on defense to be historic. And that's all bullshit. That's all bullshit. And the head coach ran his mouth too. And he's so stupid for doing that. And I love Mike, but like he's got to be smarter than that. And he is a smart guy. The problem with the run defense is that they're getting their asses kicked. Fine. You know what? Big Bed's Burner, you know I love you. That's fine. That's fine. But you know what? I've been right about this team ever since I left. They haven't won a game. They haven't won a playoff game since I left, and they do the same stupid shit. Just when you think they're going to turn a corner, it's like, oh no, they turned the corner to get to the point where teams were 3 years ago. They play with no urgency. They play to blow somebody up rather than tackle them. You're right, Ian. They take four angles. Ben, you're absolutely right. Defensive line can't fucking do anything. And then the linebackers, Ben, I agree with you. I think they are free, but they're not making plays. And like as Ian said, this is a collective effort of failure. And I know there's still 15 games left, but you have to look at this from 10,000 foot view and say, okay, what's going to change? Okay, yeah, you're right. TJ's probably going to get
does plenty of wrong.
Shut up, Ben.
TJ's going to probably get some sacks and this is going to happen. That's going to happen. But I'm going to tell you this right now, man. Like Sam Darnold threw 2 interceptions. One of them was a horrible throw that Jalen Ramsey made a nice play. I'll give him that. I don't like Jalen Ramsey, but he made a nice play.
He did.
They turned the ball over twice, and they still put up 30-plus points.
They put up 24 points.
Okay.
In fairness.
Okay. But also that fourth down play where he threw a pick, they were driving. And also if Sam Darnold is going to do that, what are so much that's funny.
It's funny. Great job, Aaron.
That they what is a better quarterback? And then that Kenneth Walker 3rd and goal touchdown.
Dude, that hurts so bad.
If that is not
from the 19,
the biggest kick in the nuts.
He was hoping to get 3 yards. He was like, I'll get 3 or 4 yards in the middle of the field and get a
disaster that he left in his wake too.
And you know what? And Jason Myers, who's pretty reliable, already had missed the kick that game. So who knows if he picks a field goal if it's going to go in or not.
Right.
That was what is it? So you talk about history. They were historic. That was the longest touchdown run on a 3rd and goal to go history in the NFL.
Isn't that crazy?
Think about
Unbelievable.
That. And as soon as he turned
how many guys were laying on how many Steelers were laying on the ground?
It's seriously
were laying on the ground. Is that guy
and like, yes, you could get better, but how much better can you really get? Because the formula to beat the Steelers is out there now. So how are the Steelers going to?
I'm sorry, that play just felt like want to. Like the Seahawks wanted it, and the Steelers were like, whatever. They're just going to get 3 yards on this play, and then they'll kick the field goal. We've already shut this thing down. It's fine. Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And the Seahawks still wanted it. To their credit, they wanted it. Steelers.
And to what Ryan said, the other team does like to win too.
Yeah, there's that.
And let's not forget the collective failure that led up to that too, right? That the previous drive after the Caleb Johnson disaster class happened, right? We were down 2 scores.
Mr. Lawley.
We were down 2 scores. We get the ball with like 12 minutes left and take 5 minutes to dink and dunk our way down the field just to kick a field goal. And then it's like, okay. And then we have them in 3rd and.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have them in 3rd and long. And we have them in 3rd and long. and Patrick Queen comes free up the middle, and like you are one of the top 10 paid inside linebackers in the league. Like, I don't care who you are. You have to make that play. Yeah. You have to make that play for your team in that moment when you're down by 7, the defense needs a play, and he just blew it. He ran right by him, and like, it's not like Sam Darnold is a super elusive quarterback. Like,
he's athletic, but he's not Lamar. Okay?
Right, he's not Lamar. Right, exactly.
He's not even Justin Fields.
Right, and this is Patrick Queen we're talking about here, right? Like, his athleticism numbers were off the charts, but yeah, it's like, I'm gonna put on my Scarpino hat here and
really be a hater.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of guys right now on defense who look like they're more interested in making sure they get the bag than they are in making tackles.
Let the hate flow through you.
I'm just saying, right?
Welcome to the dark side. I mean, welcome to the dark side.
Yes, let the hate flow.
Seems like we've got a bunch of guys out there collecting paychecks that don't really care about playing football. That's what it looks like.
I'm not going to disagree with you. It looks like a bunch of individuals.
Ryan mentioned Holcomb earlier, who I do think is a good team player. I don't think he's a great linebacker, but I thought he was a 2-down linebacker before he hurt his knee.
Absolutely.
I didn't think he was a passing down linebacker then.
And they put him in on passing downs.
This last game. So, I expect to see him play a little more, but I hope he's not playing on passing situations.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, how many fucking 3rd and 6 plus did the Seahawks convert? I mean, it was like, okay, you got them off schedule. They're behind the chains. It's all good. Like, they're off schedule. It's 3rd and long. You can make them. You can stop this here. How many fucking times did they fail in that situation? God, it was frustrating to watch.
What was that season that the same thing happened? It's like every 3rd and long we gave up first down.
2012, 2013.
Yeah, it was right around there.
It was a terrible,
that's what I've been reminded of.
Awful fucking defense, though. That was different. It was a bunch of young guys. Vince was starting, right? Like, he was a rookie, and he was starting in 2012, as I recall, because a bunch of guys got hurt, and he was a 6th-round comp pick. Remember that?
Yep.
And they just, like, even with the turnovers, Seattle never looked like they were rattled.
No.
And like, and we talked about a little bit of Renegade earlier, and I've said for many years that we need to retire Renegade because Renegade belongs to a certain period of Steelers history. They need to figure out something new because these dudes play Renegade at their practice leading up to the game.
They played it. Burner said they played it post game after they lost.
I didn't see that.
I've never heard of that in my life.
They definitely played walk into your trap, take over your trap, like the yo trap, like the Steelers do. But I
tend to agree with you. The Renegade era is over.
I'm coming around to that.
This would never happen if Will Howard was starting. Shut up. You sound like Aaron. Burner. Will Howard is not good.
No, I obviously I don't want to spend too much time on the Renegade thing, but I do agree. I think it was well said that it was a different generation. It was a different group of guys.
The problem is Renegade belongs to the fans now.
Well,
so if they take it away, the fans are going to be pissed, right? So it's a difficult proposition. It's like, in my opinion, what they should do is phase it out over a period of time, make it a special occasion thing for a while, and then eventually just stop playing it.
Well, in to your point, you're exactly right. Fans, when we get into the late 3rd, early 4th quarter, you can sense it in the stadium. Ian, I know you can feel it. Mm-hmm. Fans are starting to, okay, is this it? Is this it? Is this it? They're going to do it?
Wait, was Burner being sarcastic when he said they played Renegade post game?
I don't think they actually played it in the locker room, but he's right.
All right,
he's
cool.
right about he's right about McDonald said it, but also Mike McDonald's former coach at the Ravens, like they also talked, like the Ravens also played at practice, so like it's not like it's some random thing, but it is not effective. And you know what? Not like there are only a few of these dudes on the team even know what it means.
Well,
that's true. That is 100% true. Only a few of the dudes in the team even know what the fuck it means. They're like, oh, the fans are getting hyped up. That's cool. Great. Yeah.
And I'm going to agree.
I thought Renegade worked. It worked for a couple of minutes. And I mean actual clock minute, not play game clock minutes, but like actual time minutes.
Right.
On Sunday. But then like they lost all their momentum that they had. Like it was like a someone punched a hole in a paper bag and it was gone. It was, it was like, that was fun for a couple of minutes. Yay. We were whipping our terrible towels and we were all excited because they just played Renegade. The team was going to do better. And then they didn't.
No. And it's happened far too often. I think we've made our point there. I want to talk real quick, and it was briefly brought up a little bit about Caleb Johnson. I said this, and I'll toot my own horn. I said this in the preseason. I don't know why in the hell he's back there. I want a kick returner who gets the ball and is accelerating into the crowd of people, not decelerating as he seems to do. And then, of course, we had the major gaffe on Sunday. And you go back and you look at his history at Iowa, I think he had an opportunity to return a grand total of like 15 kicks in his 3 seasons there, none in his final season, 2 in his second season. So I don't get it. Is it a way to try to get him on the field? I just, and Scarps, I know I'll turn this over to you. Danny Smith taught those guys exactly what the rules are.
Tomlin does too. Yeah. Anybody that thinks that the coaches didn't tell them the rules 500 times is a fucking idiot. I want to make that clear. And I saw so many people on Sunday be like, "That's coaching. That's coaching." Listen, there's plenty of blame. There's plenty of blame. Plenty of blame to go around when it comes to coaching. But you know what? It's okay to blame the player. And maybe they shouldn't have taken a running back in the 3rd round this year, right? Maybe they should have. Okay, did they? Mm-hmm. Did they?
Did they take the right one? I don't know about that, but I'm saying they needed a running back. They did.
Okay, well, they brought in Kenneth Gainwell, who seems to play just as many snaps as Jalen Warren, who they signed to an extension. I mean, maybe they could have brought in another guy that has a little bit of experience rather than a 3rd round rookie. Anyway,
well, or brought in a rookie who had a little more juice. Maybe their scouting.
Can I finish my point?
Bad here.
No, Ben's not letting anyone finish anything.
Can I finish what I'm saying here?
I'm not even blaming Caleb Johnson. It was a bad play. He has to know the rules.
Yeah.
But if you're going to blame coaching, blame them for putting him in that position in the first place.
Yes.
If you signed Kenny G, put his ass back there. Put James Pierre back there, or somebody that fucking knows what's happened and has experience. Like it's like we're always pointing the finger at somebody, and if it's not this person, we point it to the next person. When let's try to break it down. Why was Caleb Johnson out there in the first place? Yeah. That's what I look at.
And I think Matt has a point. It's his 2nd NFL game, and they didn't lose because of it. Now, it didn't help, especially when you look at the timing. They're down by 3. They're getting the ball back. And boom, now they're down 2 scores. And so, yeah.
I don't know. I think they did. I think it was a turning point in the game.
It was a huge play. But when you look at the other aspects, it was one of many, But
yeah, that's fair. Because okay, if they were up by 10 at that point and he does that, then perhaps,
Oh no, it was a big turning point of the game. I'm not denying that, but
to me, the bigger play was what we talked about before, that 3rd and goal from the 19 where they allowed a fucking touchdown. That was the bigger play. That was not only you want to call it the nail in the coffin. That was a gut shot. That was the gut shot that killed them.
Well,
I'm only hearing every third word.
Right. Right. Frampton's working on
Great.
a new album.
Fucking wonderful.
No, and I forgot what I was going to say, but those 3rd and long runs like that, not only do they crush your soul, but they crush it and crush it again, because in this particular case, they scored on it. So it's like you just gave up 19 yards on 3rd down and they scored on it. And he left like 4 Steelers laying on the field as if they were 5-year-olds in the backyard playing football with dad. I mean, it's an awful situation.
I have a
like
point
that.
about that.
Yes.
You know who can return? Who can return kicks? Since we're talking about returning kicks, Jabril Peppers. Ian.
He can. Yeah. Ian, go ahead.
Okay. While we're talking about the guys laying on the ground, their conditioning looked terrible in this game. And it was a warm day. Like, it was probably low 80s. And I know they were out in the sun, and it gets really hot in that stadium when the sun's just baking on you. But like this goes back to train. Like, you want to talk about coaching. This goes back to training camp and what the strength and conditioning coaches put them through. Like, they look completely unprepared to be conditioned for an NFL game, like to play 60 minutes in heat. And I mean, I remember, not to be a old man yells at cloud Scarpino type, but like, remember in 2010, I think it was, when Ben was suspended and we had to go down to Tampa Bay, and it was like 95 degrees with humidity. And we beat that team like 31-17.
Yep.
And Brett Kiesel returned an interception for 65 yards. Like, if anyone on this defense had gotten an interception, like, and they did, like Nick Herbig got one, and he's not a slow guy. And like, he ran out of gas, and that was in the first half. Like, that Kiesel pick was in the second half. If anyone on that defense had gotten a pick in the second half, they wouldn't have made it 15 yards before they like were huffing for air like they were James Harrison in the Super Bowl.
It was alarming.
It was and that is absolutely on not the head coach, not a coordinator. That's on strength and conditioning coaches. And it's not like they don't have training camp in a place that's like baking ass hot. Like Latrobe, they're in a bowl. Like,
and they also moved up practice during OTAs and minicamp, and Tomlin was quoted because it's not hot enough or whatever. Or they
wanted it in the afternoon
because they wanted it hot enough. I agree, Ian.
Well, my question is this: in the 21st century, are players expected to come in highly conditioned, and is there less of an expectation on the strength and conditioning coach to get them football ready? I'm just asking, because in the old days, you literally came in from your insurance job and you got whipped into shape. Well, now the money you're making, you're expected to come in tip-top shape, and strength and conditioning just tops you off, so to speak.
In the old days, they had 6 preseason games.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that's fair.
And one of them was the college all-star versus the Super Bowl champions game. Mark and I are old enough to remember that.
I remember terrible. That. They canceled it during the Steelers game, right?
It was fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's pretty much when it ended.
Yeah. Long and the short of it is, yes, you are expected to show up in shape, and you are expected to get yourself in shape. And there are coaches now, there are routines, there's all kinds of shit that players pay for. And players invest a lot of money into getting in shape and staying in shape. Yeah, I mean, most guys, based upon what I'm reading, they take a few weeks off at the end of the season, and they go right back at it, and they're training. So it's year round.
Let let me switch over to the offense here a little bit. We talked about this in our chat. I watched all of Broderick Jones' snaps, and I thought he was better than he was in week 1. And Ben, you made the point that at times it kind of looked like Aaron Rodgers was, I don't know what the right term is. I hate seeing ghosts a little bit, but he never got comfortable in the pocket.
They hit him a lot.
They did. And that just was a total O-line failure. And
yes, and he walked into 1 sack again.
He did.
Absolutely. I'm not gonna like he said I walked into 1 or 2 sacks, and he says that every week. He didn't. He walked into 1 both weeks. The others were on the offensive. Well, yeah. I don't know. Aaron's holding the ball a little bit long.
Yeah.
At certain points, it's like, dude, get the fucking ball out. You're an old guy.
And that's the other thing. Guys aren't getting open.
Guys are flashing open, but Aaron's moving when they're open. Like DK is looking back for the ball because he's in a soft spot. He's like, I'm between the corner and safety. Throw me the fucking ball. Where is it? I thought it would be here already, and it's not even in the air yet, for example. Because, the pass rush is getting to Aaron. In my opinion, it is. And if I can see that shit, coaches can see it, and they're going to keep pressuring him. They're going to continue doing it.
Yeah. I mean, his numbers against the Blitz last year weren't all that impressive. So
they were not. They were worse than our man, Russell Wilson.
Shit.
That being the case, like, why wouldn't you pressure him?
No argument here.
I pressure him from the outside because the guys along the interior. Well, no, I'm going to say that. And Sayamalu had a terrible game against them. He had a horrible game on Sunday. God, Sayamalu looked like shit, a shell of his former self. I was like, who is that dude? So we got 2 offensive linemen that can pass block. And McCormick, he can pass block, but he's a fucking mauler. Like, he bashes people when he's pass blocking. I don't know if you guys have watched him, but I'm like, dude, are you run blocking or are you pass blocking?
Well, and that's just it. Yeah, pass blocking, you want aggressiveness, but you also need a little bit of finesse to do it too.
He's very aggressive.
Did Jalen Warren, Ian? Did Jalen Warren give you any sort of hope that maybe this running game could get going? Maybe.
Yeah, it absolutely can. I think we talked about just kind of with the Jets that they were running some no huddle and got in some personnel situations where Aaron wanted to go and Gainwell had been on the field. So, but they, Warren got quite a few more snaps than Gainwell this game and definitely kind of found his mojo a little bit more. And, Jalen Warren's value to this team is he can be a 3-down back. Yes, he can run the ball, but he can also be kind of that receiver out of the backfield like we saw with that swing pass that he took for 65 yards. And, he can also pass block pretty darn well. So he can do everything you want him to do. It's mostly just a question of if he's going to hang on to the ball and if he's going to stay healthy. So I think part of it with Gainwell is they do want to limit his touches a little bit and not run the wheels off him. But yeah, I think they did start to find some things in the running game, and Seattle, to their credit, does have a very good defensive line. So, our guys up front were getting their asses handed to them, but I think, we'll see how these next few weeks go because the Bengals are not good on defense. The Patriots have some players, but they're not as good as Seattle was. So we'll see how the next couple weeks go. But yeah, I think Warren can do a fine job.
Yeah. Scarps, the next 4 weeks are kind of interesting when you look ahead. They've got the Patriots, but they've got a Minnesota team in Ireland, which won't have its starting quarterback from the way it looks right now. They're going to see a Bengals team. Right. They'll see a Bengals team with no Joe Burrow. And of course they'll see a Browns team. That's the Browns. I mean,
Browns. The Browns.
Do the Steelers have to come?
They wear their shit brown uniforms that are presented by Dude Wipes to clean your ass up.
Commercials brought to you by Ben. Scarps, do you think they have to come through that 3-1 at the absolute worst?
Do I think that? Yes, but do I think they'll actually do that? I don't know. I don't know because.
I mean, and the reason I say that is because you look at what follows. They'll.
I understand that, but also, is Carson Wentz that bad? No, he's not. Carson Wentz isn't terrible. They've lost to worse. They lost to Ryan Finley, for fuck's sake, at Cincinnati. Right. So, and Jake Browning has had success against them, and they still have T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
And Jake Browning is more mobile than Joe Burrow is. And, it sucks. And I do want to say this. Obviously, I don't want to see any superstars get hurt. Joe Burrow, that sucks. And the Steelers have avoided him so many times.
My God.
He's been hurt.
He's hardly ever played against the Steelers.
And even Lamar has been hurt several times when playing the Steelers, or that the Ravens have already locked up the division. So, I mean, yeah, they have to go probably 3-1 at worst to be in okay shape to continue to try to compete.
Agreed.
But I don't know if they go 3-1. Every week is going to be a challenge for this team because, as Ben talked about, the Kool-Aid was strong this summer, and I have no idea, but it was so juicy.
Oh, it was juicy, tasty.
It was tasty,
all those wonderful things.
It was cold and tasty, refreshing, and you should have probably skipped it.
Seems like ancient history now, doesn't it?
They need to go 3-1 at worst.
Oh, I agree. I totally agree. They've got to find a way to get at least 3 wins out of the next 4 weeks. 5 weeks because the bye's going to be in there. But we'll touch on the Patriots a little bit more here later.
This does feel like a watershed moment for the season, though. I think you're right that it's like this season could go one of two ways. If they win 3 games, then they set themselves up to stay kind of in that, maybe we're sort of playoff contenders, even though we're kind of fake good. If they go 2-2 or worse, then you start looking at the schedule, and I know we all picked them to win at least 8 games. I know that the stats are out there that generally speaking, you play 25% of your games against backup quarterbacks, so on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
But if we can't stop the run, it doesn't matter who's playing quarterback for any of these teams.
No.
So at the end of the day, right, if they go 1-3 in this next stretch, which is possible, then we start talking about hey, picking in the top 10, but all the college quarterbacks suck right now. But it's one of those things where things could go off the rails real quickly here if these next 4 games go poorly. Full disclosure, I spent the whole offseason saying that 4-13 was better than 8-9 or 9-8. So I will.
Hater.
I am tempering my disgust for what is happening. I am not happy with I'm seeing on the field, but also I realize that I said that and I do stand by that. So I'm tempering my comments with that.
We got Ben Roethlisberger after 6-10.
6-10.
Remember
that?
Right.
And that was brutal. That 6-10
sucked
was
donkey
bad.
ball.
Yeah.
It was horrible, but we got Ben out of it. That part didn't suck.
No, that part did not suck. I don't know. I just I'm getting way ahead of myself here when I think about next year. But if things don't improve on that offensive line, I don't care who you put back there right now. But be that as it may. Any other thoughts on the Seahawks loss to the Seahawks, I should say, Scarps?
Yeah, I want to make a point, and I felt that Jaylen Warren made a really nice play on that catch and run, but I also think that he benefited from some missed tackles. That was sort of a fluke play, and that was the whole the Steelers coping mechanism this week. Was look for a couple.
Okay. Wait, but
Ben
did
is
the
signaling
Seahawks
a
benefit
timeout.
Did the Seahawks benefit by the Steelers missing a bunch of fucking tackles, or did they create that? Did they make our guys miss? I tend to think there's a little bit of a balance there. Like Jalen made some things happen along the line.
I'm not taking anything.
And it's one play. It's one play. And our offensive line is still not good. But I don't think this offense is good. And I actually don't think this whole roster is good. But I think that Jalen Warren in that situation deserves some credit. That's all.
I didn't say he doesn't deserve some credit. I'm just saying that he could also.
Yeah, good job, Matt.
He could have also been easily tackled. The point is that right after the game, Steelers coping Twitter was like, oh well, fuck. If we would have did this and we would have did that, we would have did this. Okay, so
every week's woulda, shoulda, coulda.
So I'm gonna play the same game. I'm gonna play the same game and say that if Jalen Warren doesn't make a really great play, and Rodgers extended the play, and then Seattle doesn't miss a couple tackles, they're not even in position for Rodgers to throw that ball that gets fucked up in the end zone for a pick.
Yeah.
Right? So I have no idea where I was going with that. So somebody bring me back there. Oh, my bad.
Calvin,
okay, getting back to getting back to the offense. The offense has no fluidity. They're afraid to push the ball downfield. They look like everything is a challenge, and
because it is
the only big play they had was that Jalen Warren play, which could have easily been stopped for a 15-yard gain, and then who knows what would have happened. They might have punted, but Aaron Rodgers, since the start of 2024, is one of, I believe, 7 quarterbacks that has an adjusted net yards per attempt that's in the bottom 50 in a single game. So we were told that Rodgers was going to come here and be great and all this shit, and his adjusted net yards per attempt is fucking terrible, and it's been terrible for 2 years, and it was terrible last Sunday. There we go.
Aaron, what in the hell are you talking about? If I would have won the 2011 bagging championship in Vegas and went on David Letterman to beat Scarlett Johansson, we would have gotten married.
Yeah. Remember Aaron was in the grocery bagger?
Oh, that's right. He was one of the top baggers of all time.
Yeah, that's the woulda, coulda, shoulda of the Steelers.
Yeah, so basically, right? Aaron's making a woulda, coulda, shoulda point.
But so if you're going to play that game,
you would have, Aaron. You're absolutely correct.
If you're going to play that game, then you're going to have to play the game more. Well, what happens if Darnold didn't throw 2 picks? Right? Like, it can't always be these fucking hypothetical bullshit.
Every week's like that.
I mean, what happens if the Steelers block better? I mean,
exactly. And they're not.
Gives a shit?
And
who
they're
cares?
not.
What actually happened was they played terrible, and they're not. I mean, like the evidence after 2 weeks would suggest they're not that good. On top of that,
you know who's not really good? Tua.
Uh-oh. Well,
on top of all the
quick, somebody put something in Ben's mouth.
Good.
There he is. DK Metcalf and Jonnu Smith. Did you guys expect more from Jonnu Smith at this time?
I did. Yeah,
I did too.
Their offense is fucking terrible. It's terrible.
I don't think anybody's arguing that. They're
all garbage.
Created more ways to get him involved.
Jonnu, I would have liked. I'd like to see Jonnu Smith play more snaps. He's good, but he gets limited. He gets limited opportunities with the ball. So it's like you got a guy who's good, but you're not giving it to him. You're running fucking stupid ass plays with Kenneth Gainwell up the middle. Why?
Well, go back and look at how Miami used him. A lot of his success was yards after the catch. Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, I
get him in
don't
space.
understand.
Get him in space. Get him the ball. Get him in space against the safety or a corner. Get him the ball and go, hey, you do you.
And DK is a tough one. Because I do think he is hurt by the fact that there just isn't another threat on the other side of the field.
But I think that DK had a really bad game Sunday.
yeah, he probably pushed a little bit, his former team, probably trying to do too much, that kind of thing.
Right. He dropped some passes he definitely should have caught. And if DK had played a better game, even like a pretty good game on Sunday, the game would have been much different, in my opinion. DK did not show up.
Yeah.
He won't.
Speaking of guys who
he won't. Yeah.
Oh,
go ahead.
Speaking of guys who drop some balls, Aaron Rodgers' best throw on Sunday was that one on the run that he ripped to Freiermuth, and Muth just dropped. He hit that. That was what 45, 50 yards downfield on the run.
Yeah,
and fit it right over the defensive back. Hit Muth right in the hands.
That dude has still got a cannon.
He still does.
You can't question my strength.
Yeah, my fucking God of a cannon. Holy shit.
Yeah,
I wish he could move around better in the pocket, but man, that dude's got a cannon.
Yeah, what does Moose do though?
His receivers have to help him out a little bit, right? I think that's the broader point here, right? Is that the guy's got to catch.
They got to catch the ball and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, catching the ball is good.
The guys that are getting paid to catch the ball should probably
Mark.
Catch it.
Thank you.
Yeah, catching the ball, good. Matt brings up the Juwan Bentley signing. Played 7 years in New England. He's predominantly a run stuffing type linebacker. I think he's going to be on the practice squad for this week.
Yeah,
I
think it's going to matter?
No. I mean, maybe Mel. You know what? Maybe if he's that guy that's willing to finally come downhill and fit in a gap once in a while, then maybe. But
that would be awesome, right?
And then they also signed the receiver as well. And again, right now they're just filling out practice squad spots. But
I think but they're looking at but Hodgins. Whatever the fuck the guy's name is, Hodgins. That guy just doesn't play. He doesn't play teams, so I don't know why they signed him. Other than the fact that wide receivers they don't like.
What you mean? All the wide receiver 4 and 5s they have aren't cutting it.
Yeah,
Thank you, Scarps. But we have the best Steelers. We have the best wide receivers between 4 and 6 in the league.
Yeah,
you know it because we got.
I'll tell you this:
we got hot and cold. We got hot and cold running number 4 and 5 and 6 wide receivers on this team.
I'll tell you this though, man. I would absolutely rather cycle through the Russ Wilsons and Aaron Rodgers of the world than to sign Tua Tagovailoa to a 4-year, $212 million contract extension because that dude is fucking terrible. And I know he has some concussion issues.
Hey, dude,
and
could be worse.
I want to be respectful of that.
Yes,
but also that's why the Dolphins are the Dolphins, and the Steelers haven't won shit in a decade. But the Dolphins literally haven't won a fucking playoff game in
ever
before 9/11.
Right.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Aaron Rodgers told me to say that.
R.I.P.
Was Dan Marino the last quarterback to win a playoff game for them?
I believe he was, Ian.
Oh my gosh!
If I remember that correctly,
all of this could be worse. You could trade three firsts, a third, and a fourth for a quarterback and give him 5 years and $230 million on top of that.
I gotta hand it to you with that comment, Ben. Wow. Is that who you're talking about?
We laugh, but we could be there in 5 years.
Fuck that.
I don't know.
I don't think the Steelers would do that. I don't think they would mortgage the whole. Well, I don't know. Art's not really a football guy.
Clearly.
John, I'm going to be honest. Aaron called me out earlier for drooling over Josh Allen. Go ahead, Ben.
I'm sorry. No, the Dolphins won a playoff game in 2000.
2000, yes.
2000.
Chad Pennington.
Yeah.
PD with a funny post that shit.
Yes.
Chad Pennington.
Chad Pennington, yes.
Okay.
And they beat the Peyton Manning Indianapolis Colts in the playoffs.
Of course they did.
Hey, Chad Pennington was okay.
I would have never guessed that.
Okay.
Yeah. They beat them in overtime.
Unbelievable.
By the way, I'm
actually Jay Fielder played the playoff game.
Jay Fiedler? Fiedler on the roof.
Yeah.
Fiedler on the roof.
I am going to hang this on the fridge because I said Mike McDaniel was going to be the first coach who gets fired.
So did I.
His ass might not make it back to Miami.
Right.
They're going to leave him in Orchard. They might leave him in Orchard Park, New York tonight.
They're going to leave him over in the innards of the new stadium there.
The innards.
He's
gonna be like, they're going to fire him before they get to the fucking plane. They're going to be like, dude, you're fired. You're flying back commercial. Here's your middle seat on coach.
Take your fancy little pants and walk home.
He's going to be like Jimmy Hoffa, buried in the Meadowlands, but like 40 times less cool, buried in Highmark Stadium in Buffalo. The new Highmark Stadium in Buffalo.
Let me try to bring it back around here. We do have the Patriots this week. The Patriots are 32nd in the league against the pass, but they're third against the run.
So that means we're probably going to run the ball like 40 times because we're
fucking
geniuses like that.
Exactly. Just fucking keep it simple, stupid. If they're vulnerable against the pass, then throw the damn ball.
Yeah. But you know as well as I do, Arthur Smith's going to be like, we got to establish the run. We're going to come out and run the ball. And they're going to go run pass the whole friggin' first half. And then they'll be down 13-0 at halftime or something stupid.
This is the perfect game where you pass to set up the run.
Yes, absolutely.
This is the perfect game for that. But I agree with you, Ian. We'll probably come out and try to run the ball and establish our dominance. There's no establishing dominance with this particular team right now. No. That's just not going to happen. And that's kind of where I'm at with that. But offensively,
try and run it some.
Well, no, and I'm not saying you don't. I'm not saying you go like, because the old Texas Tech run and shoot. I'm not saying that.
No, I'm just saying it's like this offensive line. This offensive line is so bad, right?
Yeah.
Mark just froze up, which means I'm frozen up. That's awesome.
I didn't freeze.
Yeah.
This offensive line is so bad. Yeah. So, they have to give them more experience as a unit run blocking. They got to do it. So that they can get better as a unit.
Yeah.
Playing as a unit, 5 guys playing together, run blocking. They got to get better at it. And the only way to do that is do it. You get practice, but it's not the same.
No, I don't.
The same. In the old days, you could get practice. You played 3 games a week because practices were live. Twice.
Exactly.
Actually, according to Moon Mullins, it was 4 games a week because there were 3 live practices.
Yep.
And
the only practice you didn't usually go live in was the practice leading up to the game.
Right.
Everything else was a heavy padded practice.
It's not that way now.
No.
They have limitations on the number of padded practices they can have throughout the course of the season. So, you don't get that until game day. And this unit has got to perform better.
What did I see today? Mike Tomlin, I think, is 3-8 all time against the Pats. We have not. We've won once in New England since 2002. I think
that was the year Brady got hurt.
Brady had the knee injury, so we beat Matt Castle.
Storming the castle, yes.
Storming the castle.
2008.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was like 33-17 or something like that. We beat him pretty good.
Did I also see the last?
Didn't Lawrence Timmons have an interception return in that game?
Something like that.
Harrison, I'm pretty sure Harrison had a big sack on Castle. Might have forced a fumble or something, if I remember correctly. God,
I'll go back and look.
Losing my mind. It's hard to really take what New England did last week down at Miami, because Miami is just so hard to figure. I mean, they've put up a decent fight tonight against Buffalo.
It was 33-10. Actually, I gave New England too much credit for that.
In that game, yeah. So it's really, really kind of hard to tell. And then New England lost to the Raiders in the opener. Yeah.
Lawrence Timmons had an 89-yard interception return, but did not score on it. So
89 and didn't score?
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
He ran out of gas.
Oh, no doubt. Probably puking all over the field. Not that he's ever done that before.
Had to stop and throw up.
Yeah. So I don't, I mean, you have to believe New England, especially with Vrabel, they're going to come in and try to run the ball.
Yeah.
Don't put it in Drake May's hands. Just run the ball with Stevenson. Give it to Henderson a few times. See if he breaks a couple.
They've got Antonio Gibson too, who's kind of a flash in the pan guy. Yep. And May can run a little bit too. Like don't.
Yeah, he's decent athlete.
Yeah.
Yep. Scarps.
Are we talking Patriots right now?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, I think that they're going to try to establish a run, but I think Drake May is a really good young talent. I think he might be the best quarterback out of that class. I don't know a lot of their names on offense, but I know they have Hunter Henry, who torched us for 2 touchdowns and a couple years ago in a Bailey Zappi game.
Yep.
Do the Steelers ever cover the tight end? I mean, do they ever is there any plan to cover the tight end?
They haven't covered a tight end since 78.
Since Troy retired, has that ever happened?
Probably not, but also too, they do have Stephon Diggs who can still play and also have babies. But bless you, Stephon, for your recent announcement, Cardi B, and a few other women who are coming forth and saying it's but
he's no Tyreek.
He got me pregnant.
God damn! Fix your lo-fi, Ben. Jesus Christ, this is ridiculous. All right,
he's using AOL dial-up.
I know we got some GoFundMes. All right, so let's get a GoFundMe to get Ben an Ethernet cord. Okay, let's get him down in. No, I'll beat a dick.
I've got a drawer of about 8 Ethernet cords. I'm sending them out.
But the thing about Vrabel is that his teams are disciplined.
Yep.
They're going to stay true to their identity. And yeah, you're right. They're going to try to probably run the ball, but I also Drake May can toss the pigskin. So
I can see
I'm nervous about that. They also have a really aggressive defense. I think they lead the league in sacks, but Christian Gonzalez is not even playing yet. And I mean, that's great, but also what gives you faith in our offense that we're going to somehow solve some issue? And I agree with Ian. I think that Arthur Smith is going to go out there and say, no, we're going to run the fucking ball because I said we're going to run the ball, and it's not going to go well. So I think the Steelers, if there was ever a time for the Steelers to adapt and respond, it would be this weekend.
All right, let's do some predictions.
Oh, shit.
And I would just like to remind everyone that last week we were a collective 0 for 4.
Mm-hmm.
We all had the Steelers beating the Seattle Seahawks. So this week, Ian, what is your prediction for the
first again? I went first.
All right, I will shift gears. Let's go Ben first tonight.
There we go.
Ben, what is your prediction for the Pittsburgh Steelers at the New England Patriots? 1:00 Sunday in Foxborough.
I really want to pick the Steelers to win this game, but I'm afraid they're going to come out and do a bunch of dumb shit, like try to run the ball as opposed to passing it. We already know they can't stop the run to save their lives, and that the Patriots are going to run the ball. I'm going to go Patriots 17, Steelers 14.
Okay, well, we have a hater.
I'll go. All right, I'll go.
Oh no, Ian, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go.
I'll go.
No, so the Patriots do have a pretty bad pass defense, and it seems like so far our strategy has been like hope that Aaron Rodgers can pull some magic out of his ass and make things happen that we can stay in a game. Which, if we're going to do that as an offensive strategy, this is probably a pretty good game to do that.
Yeah.
However, we always play terrible up in Foxborough.
Yes.
And this just screams.
And the refs always fuck us in Foxborough.
And it's Clete Blakeman.
Yeah. Well, we're not playing the Chiefs, so we're probably okay. But
it's the Patriots in Foxborough, man. Come on.
Is this my pick or Ben's pick? So, but I just have a bad feeling about this game.
Okay.
And it's a Vrabel game. They're going to run the ball. But I feel like it'll wind up with some weird ass score. So I'm going to go Patriots 19, Steelers 17.
Okay. Scarps, what do you got?
You're also a hater, Ian.
I picked the Jets to win. I was wrong. I picked the Steelers to win. I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I did pick the Steelers last week to win because I didn't want to hear bullshit
pick the
from
Patriots to win. Go ahead, do it.
Can anyone ever finish a fucking thought on the show?
No, we cannot.
Fuck off.
I said all this week on Twitter that you just know they're going to win 4 or 5 in a row and everything's going to be kumbaya. But the longer the week has gone on, I don't know. And this just seems like a game where this isn't going to work. And couple things. First of all, it's not the same coaching staff, but they have familiarity with Rodgers, at least from last season.
Mm-hmm.
But there is familiarity because Josh McDaniels is their offensive coordinator. And as we all know, Julian Edelman went on his podcast to talk about, wow, the Steelers do the same shit on defense as they always do. And that was with Dick LeBeau.
Yep.
So what are the Steelers going to do on defense with Mike Tomlin? With a Josh McDaniels-led offense. I know Tom Brady isn't walking in the fucking room, but Drake May and company are probably going to be okay. And I just don't see enough from this defense. I don't see enough from this offense. And I know this is a game that all week people are going to be like, oh, Mike Tomlin wins this game. You know what? Prove me wrong, Mike. I got the Patriots. 33.
Oh, my goodness.
To 20.
Yup.
Wow.
33 points on it.
That is some serious hating. So that means it's on me to save the day. And that's exactly what I am not going to do. I will take the Patriots 26, Steelers 17.
So you're giving them one more touchdown.
I have no faith in this defense. I just don't.
I don't think that they're going to be that many points scored, but I get where you guys are coming from. I understand.
Well, I didn't think there'd be that many points scored week 1. I didn't think there'd be that many points scored week 2. It must be a trend.
Well, I mean, again, week 2 was padded by a special teams touchdown.
Yes, it was.
Because
yes, it was.
A young player was dumb.
Well, other young players don't do dumb stuff. Ours did, and whatever. Casey Kasem on deck, ladies and gentlemen.
As always.
As always, he is live from the grave. He is Mr. Casey Kasem.
Casey is coast to coast American Top Party. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the week that was September 18th, 1995. Our favorite correspondent and non-ball knower, Ryan, is back with us again this week, and he writes, Dear Casey, but it was just miscommunication once again. When it comes to the D, it was just miscommunication. When it comes to the D, Casey, that's of course a parody of The Temptations. Just my imagination running away from me. Off their 1971 album, Sky's the Limit, which is also how Yinzer Nation described expectations for this season, despite having a senior citizen at quarterback, a bunch of wide receiver 4s and 5s, Froderick Jones, and a defense that couldn't stop a nosebleed. Casey, I don't know why, but I thought perhaps Mike Tomlin would provide a little more insight into why his defense is about as useless as a broken condom. I thought perhaps somewhere between the minutia and thoughtfully non-rhythmic that Mike would actually be real for once and explain what's happening. But quite frankly, Casey, it wouldn't be prudent, to be quite honest with you, but we'll leave the light on for him and let practice participation be our guide. Casey, that's, of course, a joke at what Mike Tomlin says at his weekly press conference. The next time Mike Tomlin says something, it'll be the first. Miscommunication. How many more years are we going to have to hear this, Casey? I'm so old, I remember when each defender knew their assignment, as well as the assignments of the 10 other guys on the field. Now that's not the case. Well, that might be a little bold. You see, I think they all know Cameron Hayward is a parking cone. TJ Watt is on a milk carton.
Wow.
Hey.
And Patrick Queen is always trying to find his testicles. Casey, it's bad. It might be 2013 bad. And that group didn't even have anyone close to TJ Watt. Funny that Cam Hayward was on that team. He's been here since Obama's first term and has as many Walter Payton Man of the Year award wins as he does playoff wins. But it's not his fault, Casey. It's not TJ's fault. It's not Tomlin's fault. It's Terrell Austin's fault. Yeah, like Terrell Austin is calling the shots. If you think Mike Tomlin is the one really calling, if you think Terrell Austin is really the one calling the defense, you are not alone. Well, Ryan, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars and keep radio tuned right where it is. I fucked up the punchline. Staying at number 2 this week, here's Michael Jackson with You Are Not Alone.
It's always great when Casey fucks up the punchline.
Casey's dead.
He is dead, but he's doing a fine job. I do want to take a quick moment just to wish our best to everybody in the Steelers organization and in the Pittsburgh media, because Dale Lally did pass away this week. And Dale has been a long-time Steelers guy and has been associated with the Steelers the last several years. So very sad to see that, and best wishes to everybody involved there. Ian is continuously cranking out the Whippeal high school football stuff there in Western Pennsylvania, so make sure you check that out. And as always, I'm going to start cranking up my inside blitzes once again and all that good stuff. So
your inside blitz is better than the one that Patrick Queen tried to run.
Ooh.
Why, thank you.
Yes.
Why, thank you. Yeah. You are not. Steve chimed in for one comment, and it was a Michael Jackson comment. That's fantastic, Steven. Nice job.
You guys are the best.
Check out the site, steelcityblitz.com. Check us out on all the socials, and enjoy the game this weekend as much as you possibly can, Steeler Nation, and we'll be back next week. And as always, go Steelers.
Ravens suck.
They're pretty good now.
They are good.
We've had some drinks.